Hi Aries, and welcome to your May reading. So this is a covering transition of Taurus. We just finished with your birthday, and it's going to be really interesting to see what is in this next transition coming through for you. So going to start with these oracle cards, and I'm going to pick that other one later. So you got two instead of one, and what a beautiful cards they are. There is rainbow, blessings, and there is also cave and sanctuary. So where do I start? Let's start with the rainbow. And so basically, what is a rainbow? It's a collaboration of sunlight, so basically fire, and water in the atmosphere, right? So the water droplets become those tiny little prisms that collectively diffuse and disperse light into this kind of like ribbon of colors. And then we see basically every hue that we are capable of perceiving on this planet. So rainbows symbolize many things, right? And it's clearly something that makes us all kind of like really cheery when we see it. So rainbows like definitely talk about good luck and a bridge to heaven and abundance. We're always talking about the rainbow bridge as well. And that's majestic things, and it's something offering blessings. So it is really telling me that you may have been in some sort of, I guess, a storm, and the storm has passed, and this is now time to really enjoy beauty of the cycle, even though it has been kind of like difficult to maybe appreciate any kind of like sense of purposefulness, and especially what some of you have endured lately, right? But now it's not only the time to look on your bright side of life. Look on the bright side of life. Not some kind of like platitude or academic mantra, right? It has no heart or depth. It's just like somebody just says it to you, and then you feel like you need to respond. No, nothing like that. This is almost like something to do with genuine gratitude that is very close and very personal to you. It's kind of like almost like this ever-evolving process of life is in itself a blessing. It's almost like that opportunity to exist, which most of us, me included, we take it for granted. I am here and I didn't ask to be here, and let's make the best out of it. But for you, you are going to be look back at a memory of an experience that you can truly see the blessings that they have come from them. So you need to really give yourself a pat on the shoulder and kind of like bless your difficult or painful experiences and let them go. So that is going to be extremely important for you this month. And cave is really kind of like interesting, because we do see this caveman, we do see the twilight, we do see a creative process over here happening, right? And also we see the fire that is obviously getting to this level of involvement, knowing is going to keep the animals away and keep him safe, so he can absolutely dedicate to his art, and he's really absorbed in the process, right? So this could be simply, hey, I have been here, kind of like leaving a message over here as well. So I really think this connecting is talking about that space, a quietness inside of you that was either created or that you're going to designate as some kind of like sanctuary, right? So that place could be inside of you, but it could also be connecting to some place that you find special, where you just really want to go on your own, whether this is literally a cave or a meadow or a forest, or just simply like a main bench in a park, where you come and you ground and kind of like reconnect with the nature. That's when you are going to start experiencing the creator, whatever this means for you. Universe, creator, angels, hearing messages, right? You're going to be able to see, hear, and feel the presence, right? So it's going to be something where literally it's going to be holodeck, give me this answer, kind of like your own personal Google, if you wish, except it's going to be spiritual level. So this is going to be almost like that this month you'll be probably disconnecting a little bit from the devices and spend some time in the nature, where this breathing is going to do something, and also kind of like this is some kind of bridge that is kind of connection between the internal and external, which is facilitating some form of spiritual communion. And you are going to be really aligned in a dramatic and quiet way with that universal truth, with this universal connection, and you're going to really activate, right? So this is also going to tell you that in this kind of like world where we live in, that everything is busy, that you really need to find time for yourself, and finding that space where you can really download all of these negativities and everything, so you can be creative and you can be productive and you can kind of like go in the direction where you really should be going. So let's see where tarot brings us this month, my dear Aries. So Aries for Taurus transition, where are we getting this? So Aries, the bottom of the deck is Ten of Fire. So there is like this motion. There is like something that you quote unquote docked. You dodged this bullet. You saved yourself from something. Maybe some kind of secret is out. Maybe you are trying to figure out how to deal with this information, what to do with this information. Let me see which one is the first major. It's the Hermit. So it's again going back to that cave and sanctuary. You are trying to find a sense of some information that you're receiving, but you are not doing that by heading out to your best friend or to a teacher or to a therapist. You are processing that yourself, and you are also applying a very creative thinking in the situation. So we have here Nine of Earth reversed. Maybe some of you are concerned about your finances and how to go further. Maybe some of you simply don't want to be alone and you're looking kind of how to change the situation. Maybe some of you are feeling a little bit wobbly in some kind of like pillars of your own life and what supports you and who are your friends, who are your family, who you can count on, kind of a thing. And then you also have Five of Earth reversed. So as I said, when I saw the Blessings card, it means usually shows up when we need to fight something, either our own personal demons or demons in people. This card shows the kitty that is gleefully looking through the window where the other two kitties are enjoying the warm room, and the food is served there while kitty is in the snow. But before you start feeling sad for the kitty in the snow, just think about the advantages that this kitty is having. This kitty is out and free to roam and free to do whatever, even too free to see how other kitties are doing. Sure enough, there is like no warmth, but this is not to say that this kitty also doesn't have a home, and why would we assume otherwise? So this card technically always talks about possibly being the outsider and not being in on the story or something and being late to find out. But when this is reversing, you're actually saying, I don't even care. Like, you can tell me this all you want and I really don't care. So 9 and 5 is 14. Some of you may have been doing something with a person born in sign of Sagittarius, or maybe something has been brewing since last November, December, that is really coming to the surface right now. In any case, you're not going to feel excluded, or you're going to decide that things are changing that point on. There's like still some kind of lethargy. We are going back to this cave. You're tired. You'll be probably sleeping a lot. You need lots of rest right now. So don't push yourself into action. I know that you're a very active thing, but everything is saying kind of like find that sanctuary, find that space. It's very important. And then you have like this Fire Tom. Somebody maybe have left your life. So this is also very Sagittarian energy, or could be fire sign energy. Simply could mean, like, look at him, he kind of like burned his tail trying to wiggle through all these obstacles. Maybe it was like a tricky situation that needs some kind of form and some kind of like solution. This also talks about people who are really unreliable, the people who we think we can count on, but you get to meet them, they stand you up, or they don't come through, or the promise is made and like even when you ask, they kind of like look at you like not with apologies, but in surprise, like, well, why did you even expect that? Sure, I said that, but I didn't mean it. How could you not know that I didn't mean it? It was like not a big deal. So it's kind of like that understanding that somebody has been highly unreliable, and almost like they have been everything to you and you only have been an option, kind of a story, right? So what is above you is an Ace of Fire, which is really interesting that is coming here in the situation. So the Ace of Fire, to me, it's talking about passion. It's talking about some new beginning. It's talking about reactivation. It can actually talk about bringing the old people back and rehashing things, bringing it to the surface, but almost like resolving it. It's kind of like this new sprout coming from the old stump, and it's just kind of like continuing to grow. So completely new life has been regenerated. The snake has finally shed its skin, kind of a thing. So it's actually a good thing. And what is ahead is the Priest. So to me, this is a marriage card. And to me, this card is like for somebody who is not respecting the marriage. Maybe some of you felt that you found yourself alone, or maybe some of you had issues with your partner. But this is like taking the marriage card and saying, well, wait a minute, did we not agree to these principles? So this could mean somebody straying away. This could mean, hey, you know what, let's kind of like look into what marriage means, what relationship means. Or this simply means, if you're single, that at this stage you're like fully kind of like understanding what kind of rules you need in your life, what you want. These are like big rules. These are not small rules. This is not kind of like make sure you don't press your, like, toothpaste in the middle kind of a thing. No, these are big rules. Where do I live? What do I do? How do I connect to the other person? It's kind of like those core beliefs, right? So this is your house. It's a 6 of C reverse. Like there is like some nostalgia in your thinking. You are like having memories of the past. You have been going through something and you're reminiscing over good times. But this is usually, to me, especially when I have it with my coaching clients, usually a sign that we really need to look into why do you feel this way, and sometimes like really going in the direction where you really shouldn't be. You need to kind of like figure out what is it you're longing for. Is this really even a good thing, or you're just simply fooling yourself? Sometimes we people, in order to avoid pain, we are willing to go to really big extent just to kind of convince ourselves in one way or the other. So, and look at this. This is the environment, and you're getting good kitty. So this is now connecting to Pluto, and this is also connecting to Pluto retrograde. It's going to be very important for you that at the end of this video, I'm going to remind you at the end, you watch my astrology where I had a Pluto retrograde. You must see that, because it's going to really apply on you. Pluto retrograde is talking about transition. It's talking about somebody coming to your life or affecting your life in a way that transition is imminent and transition needs to happen. This could be affecting your marriage. This could be affecting your relationship. This could be involving a third party over here, and you're like maybe dealing with something for a while. You're simply tired of all of that. This also means that there's like a possible person in your life who you know who connected to you via karmic ways. So if you guys want to know your karma, check my karma readings. They're really good. They really tell you why you're here. I'm reading your Akashic record. But here, in this particular way, there is this person who has some karmic debt onto you. Very, very clearly. And that's where the connection is. Maybe they're resurfacing, and maybe something needs to be cleared. Maybe you just need to cut the cords with this person. So hopes and fears is 3 of Sky. You are hoping that things are not the worst, but you are fearing that there is possibly another person. This to me is always talking about a third party over here. And this card, unfortunately. And this, in fact, talks usually about relationship being affected by somebody. And that third party can literally mean somebody that they brought on in a relationship, and right? Like another woman or another man. But it also could mean that there is like somebody pulling the strings, which could be a very demanding boss, so you never see your husband who is always at work. It also could be an ex who is just like never pleased, and that sort of things, right? But needless to say, this is still affecting you, and that's kind of like part of that Pluto retrograde. As I explained it in the video, it's almost like you're seeing a car crash right in front of you. It's not affecting you, you're fully okay, but blood is everywhere, screams and cries, and it is affecting you emotionally, and you're like still processing that, and that's really important because you're part of it. So this is heading toward Earth Queen, and this is lovely. So this to me is usually a wife card or a husband card. It's talking about a comfort within the family unit, within your own skin, where you really want to go. I'm getting lots of flavors that some of you are here exploring, what about my family, and is this going to work out, and how is this going to work out? And it's a lots of things in flux over here, as I'm seeing a flow more than anything else, and that flow is currently asking you to simply kind of like pull in and think through on your own, to really see if the situation, and even if you have this person who might be just checking in and out of your life, if this really works for you, and why is it that you're tolerating, why is it that you really want to move forward with that. So the card that is here, interestingly enough, is mysticism. So these karma cards, and this is all seven chakras over here, chakra cards, pardon me, all have the stories. So here they're talking about this poker game where, you know, like it's inviting 4 people are invited. There's a husband and wife, there's a solo woman and a solo man in addition to it. But then they're receiving this phone call that, hey, it's a woman calling and she is confirming her arrival, and everybody's looking at each other and saying, well, whose guest is she? And nobody actually can tell. So they're saying, okay, so this is going to be a woman who is going to be with us tonight. So it's kind of like that mystery, right? It's not knowing. So this is about you being an observer, just like this guy in this card. He is basically describing the life as he see it. There is like this really conceptualization of taking things in and then drawing them the way you see it, which is really important to you. It's akin to us taking photographs today with our smartphones, right? So you also need to really look in your own intuition and also in your motivations. What is in for you and why? So you really need to do lots of meditation, lots of breathing. You're going to need courage, which you have in spades, and it's going to be sort of like uncharted territory. It's going to be some level of freedom through facing certain things that maybe you felt, well, you know what, I just don't want to think about it, things are going to resolve, but it's going to be different this time around. So buckle up, my Aries, and just rest assured that you're going to really come to some kind of conclusion, and somebody's getting what they are deserving. So let me put it this way, and you're going to be possibly observing that wreckage. So be prepared, but you're going to be sad about all of that, but you're coming through very strong and very grounded, and that is really what matters, kind of like the ultimate survivor. So guys, I would love your comments. If you got some messages for you, please subscribe. Also kind of check my social media. You can get daily dose of tarot. And if you guys want to get a reading with me, please check me out at cattarot.ca, or my email is down in the description. You can get it there. So I love you guys. Looking forward to hearing from you. And until the next month, be well, my dear people. And can't wait to see these new resolutions you're going to make this upcoming month. All the best.